This is a map showing how many Americans have visited each state. Some of them are not surprising. Florida, California, New York. One thing that's an abomination, though, is that less than 15% of Americans have visited New Hampshire. It's that little one shaped like a key right up next to Maine. As somebody from the Granite State, I feel obligated to give you guys a rundown. So over the next 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the Granite State. We're going to start with the geography, okay? It's a pretty small state, but geographically it's very diverse. Starting in the southeast corner of the state, you have the seacoast area. Portsmouth, Hampton, Rye. These are on this little thing here, coastline. New Hampshire has 17 or so miles of coastline. Beautiful beaches. Although I will say the water gets a little cold, especially if you're there in like May or June. Moving on to the Merrimack Valley right here. This is the most populated part of the state. It's home to Concord, which is the state capital, as well as Manchester and Nashua, which are the two biggest cities in the state. Most of this area is about an hour from Boston, so you can go do that, but it's not particularly interesting. It's mostly suburbs. Next up, we have the Monadnock region and the Dartmouth, Lake Sunapee area. These are along the Connecticut River. You have beautiful rolling hills, rural, some farms, but like dairy farms, not those big flat ones. You got some skiing up by Lake Sunapee. Mount Monadnock is one of the most climbed mountains in the world. Pretty rural. It's just a nice, pleasant area. If you think of like quaint New Hampshire villages, you're going to see a lot of them in the western part of the state. Dartmouth is also up there. Ivy League College. Pretty cool. This is kind of the vibe that I get, at least when I think of western New Hampshire. Skipping up ahead to the Great North Woods, it's just that, it's woods. I think 30,000 people live in Coos County or so, which is this entire top part of the state. It's pretty empty. You got a lot of French Canadian people, like people actually speaking French in their house, a lot of maple syrup, some nice, again, rolling hills. It's a very hilly state, just pretty empty. Most people don't even really make it up there if they live down here, but it's cool. Lakes region, that's this one. It's got a lot of lakes. The most famous is Lake Winnipesaukee. Odds are if you know a famous person, they have a house on Lake Winnipesaukee or they send their kids to summer camp up there. It's a very picturesque area. Last but not least, the White Mountains. Pretty serious mountains. These are the tallest mountains in the Northeast. It's all in like a big national forest. Mount Washington is 6,200 feet tall. Not that big for the people out west, but has worse weather than anywhere in the western United States. Mount Washington is crazy. At one point, I think this winter, it was warmer on Mars than it was on the surface of Mount Washington with the wind chill. So you can look it up. It's crazy. Damn, I'm almost out of time. Okay. First in the nation primary, our vote is more important than anybody else's. Liquor stores on the highway, no adult seatbelt laws, no income tax, no sales tax, crazy gun